Today I want to talk about branding, brand management, how the public perceives you, your practice, and what it is you stand for, and how all of that interacts. And I want to start by looking at some businesses outside of dentistry. And a part of where I get my opinions on branding is there's a book called Blue Ocean Strategy. Fabulous, fabulous book. How to create uncontested market space and make the competition irrelevant. What a statement that is. And the company I want to use as an example is Southwest. Southwest came in with a completely different brand than anybody else in the airline business. And Virgin Airlines would be kind of another example of that, which I can't say I've ever flown Virgin, but I fly Southwest a lot. And I fly them a lot because I appreciate who they are as a business. It really resonates with me. Some of the airlines feel real stodgy and stiff to me, and they're no fun. Whereas Southwest, if you've ever flown them, they have this crazy sort of attitude. I mean, I've heard people sing the safety announcement. I've heard them do just weird stuff, which fits really well with me. I have a stressful day doing whatever I do, and then all of a sudden, I don't want to get on some stressful airline. I want to get on one where I can actually laugh and be goofy, and they throw peanuts at me. So I find it a lot of fun. And similarly, when we look at your office, does your office take an approach of being fun, or are you kind of the more serious? And I'm not saying one's right or wrong. This is for you to decide. Part of what they talk about in Blue Ocean Strategy is figuring out what it is, what your brand promise will be, and then making sure your brand reality equals it. Make sure you know what it is you want to be, and then fit that brand and stay to it consistently. So the question becomes for you and for your practice, how can you systemize some of the things without losing that have it your way feel? Because in your case, as an example, maybe when you do crowns, as an example, maybe you do CEREC, maybe you don't do CEREC. But instead of having 5 different crown options and 5 different labs, imagine if you had 1 or 2 good, solid options that allowed you to have that consistency and that predictability. Because one of the challenges I hear from doctors all the time, relative to crowns anyway, is, let's say they end up with some low-cost lab because they're trying to save costs, but now they have an issue of sometimes the crown drops in and it fits perfectly. Other times, they end up adjusting it for an hour, and other times they have to send it back. That's not consistency for sure. So if we can have something in place, whether it's an in-house sort of thing or not an in-house sort of thing, but something that gives you that consistent result, it'll make it that much easier for you to have predictability. And I think predictability is the key, not only for you, but for your patients, because they want that predictability that when they took a half day off to come get their crown seated, that it works out and they don't have to take another half day off. So I think if we're always thinking about the patient's experience here, and again, the brand promise, and making sure that that brand promise equals that brand reality, I think what you find is great, great success. If you have great loyalty to your employees will do wonderful, wonderful things for you. If by contrast, your loyalty is to your patient, and therefore your employees only feel like your loyalty is to the almighty dollar rather than them, who you spend all the time with, it doesn't do anything for the culture. So you can start to see how all these things become very, very intertwined, and it's interesting to see how all that plays out. So in your practice, who are you trying to please? So here's the whole population of the world, right? And within that population, let's assume we can break this out. And these people over here, they are all about price, 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 price. That's all they care about, is having the absolute cheapest price possible. And then over here we have people that want the best. And all they want is the best. This is the person who flies first class, right? It's first class only, I don't really care. If I could have my own jet, I would fly on my own jet. But since I don't have that, I'm at least gonna go first class. And then this segment of people down here, they could go either way depending on the day or the topic. So what I believe in doing is taking this whole pie and segregating it in half. And, oops, got that backwards actually. And so this is the half that I want to attract. in my business, I'm not trying to attract the people who want the absolute cheapest consulting company. It's not going to fit with our culture, and I understand that and I accept that. So I don't even try to attract those people. And if I have a doctor who is, in some areas of their life, they like the cheapest thing, and again, in my case, consulting is one of those examples, it's not going to fit with me, and that's okay. I understand it. The work and effort you put into your practice, into education, and into providing a great value for your patients, then maybe that's not the right segment of the population for you. And then the people who could swing either way, they want the best when it comes to their car and their jeans, but when it comes to their health, their oral health specifically, they want to go the cheap route. Maybe that's not a good fit for your practice, or maybe it is. But I believe if you segregate the population and understand who it is you want to attract, it makes it so much easier to deliver that brand promise and not get so concerned about being able to satisfy everybody. If we can clearly understand who it is we're trying to target, and we can understand that this is the audience we're after, it makes it so much easier for us to be successful. And if we're successful, we feel better. With that said, I'm going to sign off. I look forward to seeing you next week, 8 o'clock Mountain, 10 o'clock on the East Coast. Until then, have a wonderful week. We'll talk to you later. What if you could have the practice of your dreams? What's holding you back? Imagine a life where you have everything you ever wanted.